Hello, this is the Broken Doll here, coming to you tonight with a request from Amelon, who asked me about 3 things, and only out of the 3 I remember 2. I don't know what the 3rd one is. I'm just drawing. I can't remember what it was, but I do know 2 of them that you asked me about. So let's go for it here. You asked me about my Dremel. Here it is. This is the Dremel that I use. You can find this at your hardware store, or like this is my second one. There's one a second one, a backup one in here, and this I got off of Amazon because my Home Hardware, my Home Depot doesn't carry this anymore. They have a lot of Dremel tools. Now, my thing I'm going to also say to you is that when it comes to the little doohickeys here, I buy them off of Temu and all that stuff, or Amazon. You can get a bag of them for next to nothing almost, and that's where I buy mine from. And I do about once a year or once every 2 years. I buy a bag and throw them all into a bin, and away you go. Now, one thing about it, your Dremel, you will find out you have different head sizes in here. If I was to open this up and we look at the head sizes, you will have different head sizes in here. So let's take a look. We have this big wider head to the skinny little head to a middle-sized head. Why? Because you're going to have different size heads for each one of these here, and you're going to need those 3, because when you order your heads, you're going to get 3 different sizes, and you have 3 different sizes for heads for sanding with. Okay, so there you go for that. So yeah, so this is wonderful. It's a wonderful implement and a wonderful tool that I suggest highly that you should have. And it doesn't cost a whole lot of money. Sometimes, now I heard somebody tell me one time they got theirs for like 20 bucks. And I'm like, oh my goodness, that's wonderful. Get 2. Me, I buy 2. You know, now if you can get them for that, I paid like $30, $35. I still didn't pay an exorbitant amount, or $40 or something like that. Oh, it was at Christmas time. This one was $35. My first one at Christmas was like $45, $50. So, because I think it was new to our area, new to the store, I don't know. They had them on a special little cardboard stand of their own, and that's how I found out about this stilo here, and I brought it home. The second thing that I remembered that you talked about was paint. Now, if I remember the 3rd thing, I'll make another. I'm always making videos, so I'll squeeze it into a video somewhere. Okay, you're asking, and I'm going to tie this into something what somebody else said to me, so I can answer 2 things at one time. You were asking me what paint I use. I use Tremclad. Now, if you're living in the United States, some of your states are going to be environmentally friendly. Some of your states are not. Some places will gladly have oil paint. You don't want Tremclad then, because you've got your oil paint, and you can go up to the counter and ask them to mix up flesh tone for you by giving them a sample piece of what you're looking for. You can take a doll's arm or leg or something, say match it up to this, and they can do that. I don't have that here in my country, on Canada. I live in Ontario. We are environmentally friendly, so because of that, I can't match up paint. We can match up acrylic paint. I can do that. Not acrylic, latex I can do, but I cannot do oil paint. So what do I have to do? Is there a loophole for me? There is. It's called Tremclad or Rust-Oleum. Don't get all upset by the name Tremclad or rust paint at all. It's still oil paint in it all. It's still oil paint. But why do we have still oil paint in my province when I just got done telling you that we are environmentally friendly? Because we still have issues where we still need it, but not in the greater quantity at one time. Now they're encouraging everybody in their homes. At one time, we used to paint all the walls in oil. Not anymore. We use latex or other such paints out there. So anyways, because of that, oil paint doesn't have it doesn't wedge in as much now. It's starting to go out. So as those other paints came in, oil paint kind of went out, and they want to get rid of it. But they couldn't totally, because we still have problems on the outside of our homes. Homes are not painted with wood anymore. We have a lot of other things that cover up our homes. But we do have still steel furniture. We still have steel toys. We have wooden fences maybe, or I have a wood table that I painted some with. So I use Tremclad. There are other colors to Tremclad, but they're not the colors that you want to make flesh tone with. So that's where I use my artist paint. Now, if you ever use artist paint, I can take all artist paint. I can take a white artist paint. Let me get my oil paint over here, and let me show you. I could take a white, I don't know if I have white because I use the Tremclad, but if I had my, this is all my artist paint here. Now if I had a white one, let's see if I got white down in here. I don't know if I do. Maybe way down in the bottom here. Maybe I don't. No, I don't have white, but let's pretend one of these were white, okay? I think at one time I did, but I don't have it anymore. But let's say I did. Okay, I could take, and I don't have the oil paint here. So I have my white paint. I could take my dish and squeeze in some white, and then take my red, then take my orange, then take my brown, and I could make up my own with artist paint. That is true. I can do that. But the only problem is when you use your artist paint is that what happens to it is that it just doesn't have the glisten or the, it doesn't have what I'm looking for when it comes to the doll being finished. At the end of the doll's painting, I'm looking at it going, there's something missing out of you. This paint isn't just not enough. And that's when I found out about Tremclad, the rust paint. And one thing about this, it has the gloss, and for some reason this paint just has a little bit more oomph to it that I like when a doll is finally finished with its flesh tone. There is something about it that's rich, and I mix in my red and my orange and my burnt umber, and I'll put them into this here, and I make up a beautiful paint. There's just something more about the oil paint in this can than in the artist, having a total artist paint. I don't like it, and that's my preference. So there are some people that like it, and then that's where you can buy your Krylon varnish, and you can spray your doll afterwards, and you'll get that more glisten maybe that you might like. But you don't have to when it comes to the oil paint that I paint the doll with, because it adheres so good. I put it on top of these other little dolls of mine, because the Krylon, because I like the look of the extra shine, you know, the doll being really nice and shiny and everything. You don't have to, though. It's just an extra protection for the doll, and an extra little look for the doll that makes the doll sparkle a little bit more. Now, if you'd like your doll a little bit duller, not, you know, then don't put that on your doll, I would say. It's up to you what you like, you know, to protect your doll with. You might just like the oil paint in itself, and it has got enough in there to protect it, type of thing. But this is what I like, and that's why I use the Tremclad. But if you're in a province or a state where you can use oil paint and it's still available to you, and you don't have to use Tremclad, I say go for it. Find it. You know, if you can find it, you know, in your state, I say go for it. I wish I did, but I don't have that. But I did find a loophole, and there's always one somewhere if you look hard enough. Okay, now I did some thrifting. I can't remember what the third one was, Amelon. I just don't know what it was. Oh well, I'm going to come back. I will squeeze it in when I do figure it out what it was. Now, I won from my Salvation Army some little dolls, and as soon as I put them out, you're going to know who they are. They're strawberry shortcake dolls. For $12, I won 7 of them. I didn't think that was a bad price. I got 2 of these now. So I'm going to put her underneath because she's a nudie. We'll put her on top. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 7 little strawberry shortcakes from 1979. So I thought that was a great find. I thought that was just wonderful to get my hands on some little strawberry shortcakes. I think I've only got a couple in my collection, and I thought this was great to get all these, you know. So they're all marked on the back, 1979. I looked at them all, and I was like, wow, that's great. So some of them have their striped little socks, and I'm going to tell you, in my collection of little tiny clothes, I have some of these put away. Did not know who they belonged to. Now I do. So I'll give some to some of these dolls here. And I do have some strawberry shortcake clothing as well. Doll clothing somewhere. Also, I got a container here of just little clothing. And so I'm going to go through that and get them dressed. Now, I was also out at some of my other thrift stores, and I was able to get these. This is stuff that I'm always in need of, and is tights. Leotards. I'm always needing leotards all the time. So I got 3 different colors there, and they're all from the thrift store, used and everything, but they're in great condition. And I think I paid 35 cents for each one at this one thrift store, which I don't get to very often, but I was on my bike and I thought, I'm taking the time to go in there, and I got in there. This is another little dress I got from my Goodwill for St. Patrick's Day, and it's a George dress from Walmart, but I was very happy to get it all the same because I don't have a whole lot of green clothing for my dolls. And this here would be nice next year for St. Patrick's Day. I was at my Goodwill again another time, and I found this. There were several little thrift, what am I saying? Dresses from this time period. Okay, and but they were all pink, and I didn't want no more pink. I got a lot of pink little dresses like this, a lot of them. I just didn't want them. I don't have enough yellow. I don't mind taking yellow or mauve, or even one was red or brown or something like that. I would love those different colors, blue, but I got like a streamline of pink, and I'm just like, no more pink, you know. I got enough. So, but the thing is, a lot of the time when you buy these little panty dresses, they're missing their panties. But one thing I do when I'm out, and something just to remind everybody else out there, if you're buying clothes like this here, I always go into where they keep the little socks and everything like that, and you'll find these little the panties that go to these, the little bloomers that go to these dresses in those areas. They seem to get separated as they get hung up or something, and so anyways, I've got some put away. I couldn't find any that day when I was at the store, which was fine, because I know I've got some yellow ones put away. The last thing that I got is a terry cloth little romper here. I had these for my kids. I just love these. I think they're cute. This is a circus theme. I just went, oh my goodness, I have to get this. I remember these, and this is very vintage, and that's the word I was looking for, vintage. And this is made by a company called Slumber Tot. Yep, there we go. Isn't that something? Slumber Tot, and there's a size which I can't make out on it anymore, but anyways, yeah, so there we go. I got this beautiful little outfit that needs to be washed up. I can see some dirt on it here where it needs to be cleaned up, but I'm going to wash all this stuff anyways. I just wanted to bring it out here and show it to you. You know, these are little things that I find along life's way, and yeah, so that's my video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I know I've been missing in action a little bit here, but I've been busy, and not with dolls. Cutting grass. The grass is growing, which I don't like. I mean, I want it just to stay where I cut it. I don't want to cut it every week. Right now, you got to cut it at least once or twice a week, because it is just growing like mad. We've got a whole week of rain coming up ahead of us here, so you know what's going to happen. It's going to grow. But anyways, I guess that's life, right? If I'm not complaining about the snow, now I'm complaining about the grass. There you go. No happiness in Tammy's world. But anyways, I am happy, though. I've been working on dolls, still going at it. I've been working on these little gaffers here, but I was looking for a nice sunny day where I can just go out and just start sanding them outside, but no go. Not this week anyways. It's supposed to be a rainy week. I think we're looking at Thursday or Friday, this breaking. So we have to go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. To me, that's, and we've been going at it since yesterday. So it's like a week of it, you know, like when you take a good look at this. But anyways, thank you for joining me. I'm working on these little Patsy dolls right now. I got 2 legs done, a body, and a head done. And I'm starting to look at the arms so I can say one whole doll has been done. But we'll keep moving here, and that's all you can do. Well, thank you for joining me. I hope you have a good work week, and that it passes fast and you get to your weekend again if you get weekends off. And don't work too hard. Anyways, thank you for joining me, and a lot more to come in this wonderful world of dolls. And leave me a comment if you want to. And Amelon, I'm going to go back and take another look what you were asking. 2 out of the 3. I am happy with that, though, because it's the wonder I remembered any of them. All right. Thanks again. We'll be coming back to you really soon. Bye-bye.